your thoughts on going from Nashville to the Edmonton Oilers?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I said this earlier. I think when you've been in the league for 12 years almost, you feel like you've been through it all, seen it all. But clearly, I haven't, because I haven't been traded before. So it's a lot of new stuff going on right now. But initial thought is obviously super excited for the future here. Edmonton is one of the top teams in the league. Obviously, have some top offensive skill on their team, if not the best. And for me to come in and join, hopefully I can contribute with my way and my style, and the defensive side of things. But first and foremost, just super excited to come there. We've had a great 12 years in Nashville. Have really, I mean, I've had two of my kids here, and everything has been awesome. But for me to take the next step in where I'm at in my career, I feel like Edmonton's a great fit. And yeah, again, just super excited and happy to get going.
I was going to say, I mean, 12 years with one team is a long time. This is going to have to be a bit of a culture shock for you if you've never been traded before in the National Hockey League. How do you go about acclimatizing yourself, and how long do you think that might take?
Hopefully a day, probably not, but I'm just going to come in and be myself, trying to work as hard as I can, contribute to a team that's, I mean, they're already going well. They seem to just need to get that little extra push over the edge, because I mean they obviously have the great one of the greatest talents on the planet. So no, again, I it's hard to answer that question for you since I don't have experience doing it. The only thing, I mean, going from different teams to, I guess, the world championships will not, you come into a new group, whatever. I feel like I'm pretty easy going, and I'll just try to fit right in as much as I can, but still play my game and be myself, and hopefully it'll be a seamless transition. But again, I really don't know. I'm just gonna, all I can promise you, I'll do my best and do my all for the team to win. I'm a team first guy, and that really is the only thing that matters to me.
Next question, Reed Wilkins. Go ahead, Reed.
Thanks, Sean. Hi, Mattias. Welcome to the Oilers. You were with the Predators a while. You know, you'd signed this new contract, and I think you'd spoken very positively of just the life and hockey experience there. You know, how difficult was this to leave? You know, were there some conversations with your manager about it, and where you might wind up going if you were going to go and stuff like that?
Not really, to be honest with you. Just like any other player, you obviously know when your team is not doing great, and the last week or so, having Niederreiter to go to Winnipeg and then get Tanner picked out of a game almost to go to Tampa, you knew nobody's safe if you don't have any trade protection, and I didn't. So I knew I was ready for it to happen, but it's obviously didn't have any conversations of me wanting to go anywhere. But I'll tell you this, I'm super excited. I've been in, I'll say, for the last 5 years, I feel like every other year I'm in trade conversations, and there've been times where there's popped up a team on a rumor and someone's asked me about it, and I've been like, I don't know, is that really a good fit, or don't really want to go there. But this time I feel like this team can really do damage in the playoffs, and I'm again beyond excited to join this group. I know they have a great bunch of leaders on it already, and again, just excited to get going.
And then I guess, you know, in terms of trying to do damage in the playoffs, you know the stats. They lead the league in goals for. Keeping the puck out of their own net has been a problem for the Oilers at times. You know, give us a sense of how you're going to help that happen, and what you sort of. I guess I'm sort of asking you for a scouting report of yourself, though, no, if you're comfortable. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm the right guy to ask here, but I think I've been in the playoffs for 8 straight years, and think that we've had some decent success. We haven't obviously came to the ultimate goal of winning a Stanley Cup, but we've been pretty close in 17, and I think I have a pretty good sense of what it takes to shut guys down in the playoffs, and that's probably why I'm sitting here today, that they acquired me, is for my defense and for my defensive side of the puck. So trying to contribute the way I played the game and have been for the last decade in this league. So not going to come there and be anything different from what I have been, and what I'm trying to accomplish with my game. And I think you guys have all seen me play before. So that's what you guys should expect.
Next question will go to Mark Spector. Go ahead, Mark.
Thank you, Sean. Mattias, Mark Spector here. Last year, this was a team, they brought in Duncan Keith, and they brought him into play, and they're bringing you into play, obviously, but they also brought him in as a leader, as an older veteran guy, as a culture shaping player that's been there and done that a little bit. At this stage of your career, are you welcoming, not just, you know, you play a bunch of minutes, I'm sure, but they'll also want more from you away from the game. Are you ready for that? And did you embrace that?
Big time. I think 100%. That's what you learn when you go through some of these experiences in the playoffs and just regular seasons. So of being in the National Hockey League for a long time, you know how to conduct yourself, I guess, just on the ice, as you're saying, but also off the ice. I know they have a young Swedish defenseman there today. Haven't met him yet, but I'm sure I'll try to help him out as much as I can, and whoever needs a helping hand, I'll be there as much as I can. I think that's what we've been doing in Nashville for a long time. We've had some pretty good success developing defensemen over the years, so not at all afraid of that. I think that's just a part of who I am. So I'm sure that will be a big part of my game as well.
Playing against the Oilers for the Predators the last few years hasn't gone so well, particularly Leon Draisaitl, if I can recollect this correctly. Your thoughts on being on 97 and 29's team now?
Yeah, I mean, Leon has just been on a different level against us, and Connor as well. So again, I touched on it earlier, that it's the two best players in the world, and to be able to be on the team with them is obviously super exciting. And I know they have a bunch of other guys that really can put the puck in the net, and it's obviously something super exciting for me coming in as a defensive defenseman. I know that if we can get our defensive side of the game, and I guess I'm doing my job, then I think we have a great chance of winning hockey games, and knowing that we have those qualities on our team. So it's excitement for sure. Where I am in my stages of my career too. It's for sure a lifetime opportunity to be able to get the ultimate prize, and that's what the Ice are at.
Thank you.
Jack Michaels, 630 Chegg. Go ahead, Jack.
Mattias, you made a good point about, not really knowing how to feel having been traded for the first time. I'm curious if it's somewhat easier to embrace the thought of a team that's in a similar position to what you've been, a contender knocking at the door, being in the hunt year after year. And might that make this transition a little bit easier, knowing you'll have some stability in a city that's also, like Nashville, expecting to contend for a championship every year?
Of course, yeah. I think that's for sure going to help, knowing that we've been in the playoffs for a bunch of years in a row and been close to winning. You know what it takes to make that journey to almost get there. We just got to get over the edge. We weren't able to do that in Nashville, but as you're saying, I think I have a good idea of what it takes. And again, I think this team that I'm joining right now is set up a bit different than maybe the teams that I've been on in Nashville. We've been kind of defensive strong to start. We've had all these all-star defensemen on our team now. It's a bit different with all the all-star up front. So it's a bit different, but again, I agree with you. It's a bit of the same too, in that sense of what the expectations are and what I've been through here in Nashville.
And my follow-up on the contrast to kind of, you point out there's a difference. Not that you haven't, practiced against world-class players before, but might it strengthen your own game to suddenly be seeing the likes of 97 and 29 and 93 in practice every day, honing your competitive edge to a pretty fine point?
For sure. It starts in practice for sure. And going against those guys is going to be challenged every day. And that's exactly what I need at the stage where I'm at. I'm getting, I might have my best years, so to speak, in the past, but I think I still hold a pretty significant level when it comes to my game. So for me to be challenged every practice is just awesome. And I'm going to embrace that as much as I can. And hopefully that will lead to me being even a better defenseman here coming in a couple of weeks or months.
Next question, Daniel Jumbolman, The Athletic. Go ahead, Daniel.
Hi, Mattias. You've been asked a little bit about, you getting to play the Oilers in the high, offense that they have. I just wonder what you saw from the Oilers defensively when you had a chance to play against them in recent years, and where you think you might be able to kind of help the group in that respect, and where you might be able to slot in.
Yeah, I mean, you see those offense guys, and when you're creating offense, you're going to give up something defensively. That's just a matter of fact. I mean, this league is too good where you can just stay on the right side defensively all the time and still get those scoring chances. So you're going to have to cheat somewhere. You're going to have to take some risks and chances somewhere. And when you do that, there's obviously an effect of when you maybe lose the puck or you don't get that breakaway that the other guys have, the other team have an outnumbered situation coming the other way. So knowing that that's probably still going to be the same, it's just about, I think, us to the other guys or the defensive guys on the team to make sure that we can limit the chances that they get out of that transition or that quick that can happen for a second. And again, I haven't played Edmonton too much. We're in the same conference, obviously, but not in the same division. And it's seemed every time we've had good success against Edmonton as a team, it's been because we've shut down their top guys offensively. So hopefully as we go here, we can build up that defense. And obviously it's early for me to say how we need to play or what have you, but I'm excited to get to work and hopefully I can contribute in any way possible.
And just two quick ones as a follow-up. I just wonder, excuse my ignorance on this, do you have much experience playing the right side? And also, when do you expect you will make it up to Edmonton?
I started this year playing the right side. It was only for about 10 games or whatever, but I have done that in the past. It's not a big deal. It's obviously something that's a bit different, but it's not a big deal at all. I have done it in the past. So, and I think the plan is for me to fly out tomorrow morning and hopefully, knock on wood, everything goes well, play tomorrow night. So that's the plan for now.
Ken Campbell, go ahead.
Hi, Mattias. I'm a couple of years ago when you were here in Toronto, I talked to you after a game, and I think it was January of 2019, and we were talking about your contract, and you were talking about how you didn't regret it at all, and that you had more money than you'd ever need, and you don't need much where you're from, but what you don't have is a Stanley Cup ring. And I'm wondering how much of that is driving you now. How focused are you on that goal? Because as you said, you kind of have everything else you need.
Yeah, no, I'm again, this is why I'm saying this is the opportunity of a lifetime for me. It's honestly the biggest chance of my career to make myself on a Stanley Cup ring. Sorry guys, that's what happens when you have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. I'm sorry, but yeah, again, this is for me is the biggest opportunity I can get or receive in this stage of my career to come to a team like this that obviously has expectations of winning, and that's all I'm really focused on right now. As I said earlier, I think I'm a pretty good team guy that puts the team first. I don't really care about the goals and the assists, who gets them, but the team needs to win and the team needs to do well, because when they do that, usually you yourself looks good and you yourself feel good and you play good usually. So my focus is how I can help the team in the best way possible, and hopefully we'll get to that ultimate goal one day.
Thank you.